City of Plymouth flags are at half-staff this week, honoring the memory of a former mayor and council member. David Davenport served as a city council member and then as mayor of Plymouth. He was mayor from 1980 to 1986. Before then, he served on the Plymouth Planning Commission. Council member Jim Willis served as city manager back then and says Davenport was forward-thinking and analytical at a time when Central and Southwest Plymouth were rapidly growing. Willis says Davenport was good at working with industrial developers and focused on improving the city's bond rating. A memorial service is scheduled for Wednesday, August 7th at 1:30 p.m. at Wayzata Community Church. David Davenport was 73 years old. There's new details into the investigation of a man found dead at a Maple Grove park. Maple Grove police say the man appears to have been shot and killed. The man's body was found Tuesday morning at Lakeview Knolls Park by someone walking in the park. Authorities identified the man as 26-year-old Dayton Rossetti. Police say the circumstances surrounding the case indicate criminal drug activity. Maple Grove police continue to investigate. No arrest had been made as of Thursday afternoon. Hennepin County says there are 2 zip codes in Brooklyn Park that have the highest eviction rates in the county. Now, the question is why? Hennepin County will give $15,000 to the city of Brooklyn Park to research the answer. The city already decided to conduct a 1-year study to determine what's causing the evictions. The study will include how to increase housing access and reduce racial disparities. A group of Hennepin Technical College students will help shape the region's mass transit system. A handful of students received associate's degrees to become light rail technicians. As reporter Pafua Yang explains, it's the first of its kind program in the Minnesota state system.
It's a moment Kelvin Hill never thought would happen.
I never expected I'd go back to school again, so this is a very big surprise for me.
Hill, along with 5 others, graduated from the light rail technology program, the first of its kind in the region.
We learned fluid power, hydraulics, we learned about electrical circuits.
It started about 3 years ago, and all the participants are from underrepresented populations.
The Hennepin Technical College president says the program comes just in time for the Southwest Light Rail expansion, which is now under construction.
Electromechanic technicians are in demand at Metro Transit.
Gary Courtney with Metro Transit says special testing needs to be done before the Southwest line can operate in 2023. But that's not the only reason for the workforce challenge.
Right now, over half of our workforce is over the age of 50. We have a 10% attrition rate annually, and that's due to retirements as well as just general separations.
Graduates hope to fill those positions, but they first have to pass a test and interview.
I feel just fine about it. I feel like I'm all prepared and, I know what to do.
In Brooklyn Park, Pafua Yang, CCX News.
Also at Hennepin Tech, students from the Robbinsdale School District got a leg up on what it's like to be in college. District 281 in Hennepin Tech received a $10,000 grant for a first-of-its-kind program that would help students with literacy skills that would, in turn, help them succeed in college.
And it's prepared me, it made me comfortable, and I'm really ready to do it. I'm really excited now. So I feel like this would be a great, if anyone else had this opportunity, they should take it.
I had a lot of trouble reading and taking in a lot of notes, and I think this class really helped me out with that. Just annotating and using my brain to figure things out.
Students involved in the class also earned high school and college credit. A Golden Valley homeowner is not giving up on her passion to garden, although a physical ailment makes it more difficult. Reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden to show us how she tackles that challenge, as well as all of the shade in her yard.
This Golden Valley backyard features mostly shade plants.
This is really a new garden. It's only 3 years old.
Nan Beeman and her family moved into the house 4 years ago.
I mean, literally nothing was here.
She ran into a big issue trying to garden under a big black walnut tree. The tree produces a toxic chemical that seeps into the soil and causes surrounding plants to struggle or die off.
These are all things that are very much plants you'd find in the woods, and that's why they work under the black walnut.
Nan's woodland garden has a variety of shady plants.
This I thought might not work. It's a Chamaecyparis, and it's done really well, so I added another one.
She also has a vegetable garden.
These are beans and squash.
Artwork throughout the garden adds a nice touch. And a fairy garden planted by Nan's granddaughter is a showstopper.
She's 12, and she's done this for a couple years now.
In the past, you could spend all day tooling around in the yard.
I have a lot of arthritis.
Now she needs some assistance.
I can't do it myself anymore.
Her husband, David, does all the heavy lifting.
So he does a lot of digging, planting, weeding.
The retired child protection social worker says gardening brings her peace.
I needed to repair my own spirit, and that's what gardening is for me.
In Golden Valley, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
A Brooklyn Park church is smack dab in the middle of its biggest fundraiser of the year. A big crowd of shoppers came out for the first full day of the garage sale at Family of God Lutheran Church on Zane Avenue. The church uses every square inch of space but the sanctuary for the sale, which they've organized for almost 20 years. Money raised helps families and children in Brooklyn Park.
We support the Sheridan Story Project, which is a backpack program to put food into backpacks for the kids for the weekend, right up at Edenbrook School, which is just to the north of us.
Some funds also go to Lutheran Social Services. The sale goes until Saturday at noon, and whatever isn't sold at that point will be donated so it stays out of the dumpster. We've put a link with directions as well as information about the sale on our website. Check that one out at ccxmedia.org.
It is state tournament week in American Legion baseball. The Junior Legion tournament for players 17 years old and younger got underway in Bloomington Thursday morning as Hopkins took on Rosemount in a first-round game at Haddock's Field. Bottom of the first inning, the Millers' Cole Anderson hits a little dribbler right of home plate. Sam Harris comes in to score. Anderson is safe at first, and it's 1-0 Hopkins after one inning. Top of the second, Rosemount ties it up on this hit. Landon Parris driving it to left center. That brings Cade Paulson around, and it's a 1-1 game. Hopkins answers in the bottom of the second. Anderson to the plate and launches one deep to left. He just misses on a home run, but it hits to the fence. Americo Scolati scores, and the Millers take a 3-1 lead. Ryan McGee's up next, and he cracks one to right center for a base hit. Anderson scores, and Hopkins has a 4-1 lead through 3 innings. Patrick Sweeney with a fly ball to center field here. Larson Richardson will make the catch for Rosemount, but the ball's hit deep enough to allow Ryder Lane to score. Hopkins goes on to win 5-1. They'll play again Friday morning at 11:30 at Haddock's Field. For the 15th straight summer, Little League baseball teams from around the area are coming to Robbinsdale for a big wood bat tournament. And this year, there's a record number of teams playing. Here's a look ahead to this weekend.
I think when we started this tournament back in 2005, I want to say we had 16, and we've kind of volleyed between 12 and 16 for several years. But the last 3 or 4 years, it's been growing consistently. And this year, we jumped another dozen teams. We're up to 50 now.
We've talked about the Baseball in Benina project that you guys started back in 2010, you and Gary Tonziger. Now this is the 7th year that the benefits the Baseball in Benina project.
Well, this is our primary fundraiser for Baseball in Benina, and we take the money and we use it to ship equipment over there. And folks generally come and they're donating equipment. So they come to our tournament, they donate the equipment, and the money from the tournament we use to ship over to Benin, West Africa. The other part of your question is, you know, how else can we use the money? Well, we brought 2 teams from Africa here over the last 3 years. Our plan is to do it again in 2020, is to bring another team from Benin to play in this tournament that benefits them. So that's the 3rd way we've been doing it, and it really has helped expand the game in Africa.
I know you've been over there. How exciting is it to see the growth of the sport, and how many kids do you have playing now?
Yeah, it really is amazing to watch how it has gone from, you know, Fernando, who was our guy on the ground there, and I got a photo of him with his 2 sisters, who were his first 2 players back in 2010 or 2011, whatever it was, standing on the beach with a glove and a bat, and I think one of Gary's son's gloves standing on the beach. That was our first coach and 2 players, and now we're well over 400 players, 35 plus coaches. It's fun to see. There's interest from other parts of Africa to make Benin part of a larger movement on the continent to expand the game of baseball. So there's big things happening. I think Major League Baseball is going to start getting involved. There's a lot of big things happening right now, so it's very exciting. The games in Robbinsdale are at Lee Park, Lakeview Terrace, and Sanborn. And then in St. Louis Park at Skippy, as well as Northside Park. And they'll run Thursday beginning at 4 o'clock into the evening. Friday, same deal, and then Saturday starting from 9 a.m. and the games won't end until about 9 o'clock at night, and Sunday basically the same deal, 9 in the morning till probably about 6 or 7 at night. So if you want to come watch baseball, there's plenty of it here, and they're all using wood bats.
Yeah, as Wally said, the tournament is underway and it runs through Sunday. For more information on the Baseball in Benin project and for a tournament schedule, please go to baseballinbenin.org. Friday at 2 p.m. on CCX News, our weekly fishing tip with Terry Tuma as Terry talks about red-colored hooks, plus highlights from the final night of the high school summer lacrosse league at Providence Academy. That's all for sports for today.